right? So these probabilities, quiet. When you're finding A or B, you've got to take the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A and B.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Holy.
Wait.
What?
What?
Oh, I gotcha.
So there's two things that are happening. Oops, forgot the B here. Two things that are happening. A and B are the two events. Now, or means one or the other can happen. If it's and, then it's got to be both of them happening. They have to happen. This has to happen and this has to happen. Okay? Let me get an example for you.
Okay.
You already finished your full pack. You already had 3 cubes.
You've been done. Oh. That sucks.
Watch this, honey.
Wow. You're retarded. I can have my air blow back at me.
It's not. How dumb are you? It's not air.
Kylie, let's get these. What is that then?
It's natural and artificial.
What is this? Oh.
Turn that off. But, what did that say? What did that say?
E is kid.
What's wrong?
Okay.
Long glasses.
So, here they've got two events, A and B. Probability, or event A is you get an odd number. B is you get a number greater than 3. So, are these going to overlap?
Yes.
Yeah, because if we did a Venn diagram, if you had the odd numbers greater than 3, you would have 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, but the odd numbers would overlap in here, right? Okay? So here we'd have 1 and 3 would be in there. So, since they overlap, then you've got to do this, you might want to write it down, to find the probability of A or B. You got to take the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A and B. Okay? Now you only have to do this if they overlap. If they don't overlap, all you got to do is you add the two together. Okay? You don't need to do this part here. So, the probability of A getting an odd number, and this is on a, we'll just do 1 through 10. So what's the probability of getting an odd? 5, right? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So there's 5 out of 10 or a half. Plus the probability of a number greater than 3.
3, 4, 5, 5, 6.
There's how many?
6, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10. So then what's the probability of A and B? That means what is the probability that it works in both of them? So if we go up to 10, 5 overlaps, 7 overlaps, 9 overlaps, right? So there's 3 tenths. Okay? So when we do this, 5/10 plus 7/10 is 12/10. Take away 3/10 is 9/10. Okay. Oops, I had the wrong number here. It's 7/10. No, it is 3. 3 numbers there, yeah. So 9/10 is the probability. So if we change this for just a dice, if you roll the dice, then that changes the probability a little bit. Now you can only get 1 through 6. So what's the probability that you get an odd? 3, 6. The probability greater than 3, 3, 6. And then what's the probability that they overlap?
No, 2. 1.
There's only one that overlaps, right?
Yep, so do 6.
So you got to subtract 1, 6. So 3, 6 plus 3, 6 minus 1, 6 is 5, 6. You need that worksheet, Becky?
I don't know, I'm just on yesterday, so I'll grab it, bro.
Wow. Wow. Thanks a lot.
What am I supposed to say?
Okay, with these ones to the sides,
Just a second, I gotta finish this.
I'll wait.
Okay, so if they overlap, you've got to subtract them like this. Okay? If they don't overlap, then, so if we change this to rolling a dice and flipping a coin, those are two different things. So if you roll a 2 and then flip a heads. If we did a Venn diagram, none of these would overlap, right? They're two separate things. So then to find P, A, or B, they don't overlap. So you just find the probability of A is 1 out of 6. The probability of B is 1/2. So when you add fractions, remember you need a common denominator. 6. 2 goes in there 3 times, so take that times 3.
4.
So that would be 4, 6. Okay? So that is the mutually exclusive.
So when you do like that minus?
You do it a minus if these overlap. If it can happen in both.